In our beginning, Kukumat beautifully blended sand, clay, and river water, creating the people of destiny, marking them as a people in search of the perfect pathway. They descended high ground with a vision of those who dream, hence they were named Kutsan, which means those who descended. Innocently exploring the desert, river area, and mountainside, they learned from nature and often prayed to the Creator for guidance. Instinctively trusting the Creator to guide them toward the place intended for them, they battled the weather elements and other tribal enemies. Despite the hardships and attacks from Maricopas, Apaches, and Pimas, they continued the journey south. Some members ventured west to the ocean and reported their journey in song of what they encountered. Surviving the hot temperatures by following the river to the south, they shared the treasures of the desert. They fished and hunted for rabbit, deer, and ram. They enjoyed edible plants that were available to them. Shamat's Hak, a blessed people. Those who survived the numerous attacks of the enemies remained triumphant in the southwest corner of California, in an area where they were able to plant seasonal vegetables and fruits. They shared laughter and food with family and the occasional traveler. Some members who journeyed further south returned with newfound friends and/or partners. These people as a rule are gentle and happy. They marveled as if everything they saw was a wonder to them, and with their impertinent curiosity they made themselves troublesome and tiresome, and even nuisances, for they wearied us by coming to the tents and examining everything. 1931. The Yuma were one of a large group of peoples occupying the bottomlands of the lower Colorado from Needles, California, to the Gulf of California. The aboriginal population of this region was probably as dense as any in the New World according to Kroeber. This concentration of people living in this area made use of the river and wild fruits growing in the area. It was reported that the land was so fertile, it took little effort to produce a good harvest of corn, squash, and beans. Vladimir Guerrero writes that because the tribe was settled at the junction of the Gila and the Colorado rivers, the Quetzan were able to assist the Anza expeditions of 1774 to ford the rivers. The first of these consisted of 35 men and 100 animals, but the second one included 240 men, women, and children, and close to 1,000 animals. Read about it in Truth About Yuma Massacre by Quetzan Host to History. First Yuma War, Glanton Massacre, Gila Expedition, Yuma Expedition, Siege of Fort Yuma, Kara's Revolt, Battle of Gila River, Yuma Treaty, Second Yuma War, Aftermath. The families living together often consisted of mother, father, grandparents, and children. Extended family members often lived in close proximity to each other, and shared the chores and meals together. In the early 1900s, tribal families were still living in adobe homes with farms and ranches to support the families. While some Quetzan farmers were taught the new farming methods, others relocated to cities to learn a new trade or to go to school to learn a new profession. For more than 150 years, spurred by federal assimilation policies beginning in the early 19th century, hundreds of thousands of Native American children were sent to boarding schools across the country. In many cases, they were forcibly removed from their homes. Renewed attention to the system by the U.S. government, researchers, and indigenous communities is revealing a deeper understanding of the difficult, sometimes deadly, experiences of children in the schools. The Quetzan tribe, numbering approximately 3,956, still occupy a reservation on the north side of the Colorado River, and a fraction of that number live in cities around the country. Today, in 2023, a majority Quetzan speakers remain unsophisticated, simple, and open to new influences of modern life. The non-speakers who are more fluent in the English language are more outgoing, while the elders remain cautious of non-Indian influences. Some homes today are still blessed with arrowweeds or sage. Corn is still our staple food, and we dance to the music of our native beat. Children are taught to respect the other person and to share what they have. Don't take more than you need. Be strong, you are. Quoth-san,